The earth trembles, buildings collapse, and in mere seconds, entire cities are reduced to rubble. Earthquakes, one of nature's most terrifying and destructive forces. They strike without warning, reshaping landscapes and shattering lives. But the difference between life and death often comes down to one thing: preparedness. Today, we'll dive deep into the heart of earthquakes. What causes them? The devastating aftermath. And most importantly, how to survive when the ground beneath you turns against you. Because when disaster strikes, knowledge becomes your strongest weapon. This is next-level survival. And tonight, we face the Earth's fury. To understand earthquakes, we must first go beneath the surface of our world, into the planet's beating heart. Beneath our feet lies the Earth's crust, a fragile skin floating atop a sea of molten rock. But this crust isn't a single unbroken shell. It's fragmented into massive, jagged slabs known as tectonic plates. Colossal pieces of Earth that constantly shift and grind against one another. Their movements are slow, almost imperceptible, until the pressure becomes unbearable. When two plates lock together, tension builds for decades, sometimes centuries. Then, with explosive force, the energy is unleashed in violent seismic waves, shaking the Earth with unimaginable power. The word earthquake comes from Old English, blending eorda, earth, and quashian, to shake. But long before science explained tectonic movements, ancient cultures had their own myths. In Japan, a giant catfish, namazu, slumbered beneath the islands, thrashing its tail to cause deadly tremors. In Greece, the god Poseidon, wielding his mighty trident, struck the earth in anger to create earthquakes. In South America, indigenous legends spoke of Earth as a living creature, groaning in pain as humans disturbed its balance. In truth, earthquakes are not the wrath of gods. They are the Earth's way of releasing its pent-up fury. Earthquakes can strike for various reasons, each one a deadly reminder of our planet's raw power. Tectonic plate movements. The most common cause, where plates collide, separate, or slide past each other. Volcanic eruptions, magma surging through cracks, can shatter rock, triggering localized quakes. Human activities. Shockingly, human actions like fracking, mining, and building massive dams can induce smaller yet dangerous tremors. Fault lines, fractures in the Earth's crust where plates grind together, like the infamous San Andreas Fault in California, capable of producing a 9.0 magnitude quake. Some fault lines are ticking time bombs, and when they rupture, no one is safe. When an earthquake strikes, it's not just the shaking ground that kills, it's what follows. Collapsing structures, skyscrapers, bridges, and homes crumble like sandcastles, burying people alive under tons of debris. Gas explosions and fires. Broken gas lines spark infernos, consuming entire neighborhoods. Tsunamis, underwater earthquakes displace vast amounts of water, triggering massive, fast-moving waves that engulf coastal cities. Landslides and avalanches, mountainsides collapse, burying roads and villages in an instant. Soil liquefaction. In some areas, the ground turns to liquid, swallowing buildings and vehicles like quicksand. The aftermath is a grim landscape of devastation. But the most chilling impact is human loss. The Great Kanto Earthquake in 1923, Japan. A 7.9 magnitude quake killed over 140,000 people. Fires raged across Tokyo, and entire districts vanished. The Indian Ocean Earthquake and Tsunami in 2004, a 9.1 magnitude megathrust quake, triggered a tsunami that killed over 230,000 people across 14 countries. The Haiti earthquake in 2010. A 7.0 magnitude quake devastated Port-au-Prince, killing over 200,000 and displacing 1.5 million people. These disasters serve as brutal reminders. Earthquakes don't just destroy buildings, they shatter lives. But survival is possible, if you're prepared. Before an earthquake, create an emergency kit. Include water, non-perishable food, first aid supplies, flashlights, batteries, medications, and important documents. Earthquake-proof your home. Secure heavy furniture, install safety latches on cabinets, and anchor large appliances. Family emergency plan, designate meeting points, practice evacuation routes, and choose an out-of-town emergency contact. Know safe zones. Study your home. Identify sturdy tables, load-bearing walls, and areas away from windows or glass. Because when disaster hits, you'll only have seconds to react. The earth starts shaking. Time slows. What you do next determines your fate. Drop, cover, and hold on. Drop to your knees, cover your head and neck, and hold on to sturdy furniture. Avoid doorways. Contrary to myth, doorways aren't safe. Modern doors can collapse. Stay indoors. Running outside is deadly. Falling debris causes most earthquake injuries. If outside, move to an open area, away from buildings, streetlights, and trees. If driving, pull over, avoid bridges or overpasses, and stay inside the vehicle. The shaking could last seconds or minutes, but survival requires staying calm and following your plan. If you've made it through the initial shaking, the real test of survival has only just begun. In the wake of an earthquake, chaos reigns. Fires break out, communication lines fail, and aftershocks threaten to bring down what's left standing. But every decision you make in the minutes, hours, and days after a quake could determine whether you, and your loved ones, survive. And earthquakes aren't the only threat nature throws at us. On this channel, we've explored survival strategies for some of the most catastrophic natural disasters. Tsunamis, when the ocean rises to claim the land. Hurricanes, violent storms that tear entire cities apart. Tornadoes, rotating monsters of wind that obliterate everything in their path. If you haven't seen those videos, make sure to check them out, because understanding disaster survival isn't just useful, it's essential. But for now, let's return to the ruins of an earthquake, because the danger isn't over yet. The ground has stopped shaking. Dust fills the air. Sirens wail in the distance. And you're still alive. Now every moment counts. Check yourself for injuries. Before helping others, assess your own injuries. Stop bleeding with pressure and use your emergency kit for basic first aid. Help those around you. If you're safe, assist others, but be careful. Aftershocks can hit without warning, and unstable buildings might collapse further. Evacuate dangerous buildings. If you're inside a damaged structure, carefully make your way to an exit. Avoid elevators and stairwells if they show signs of collapse. Turn off utilities. Shut off gas, electricity, and water to prevent fires, electrical shocks, and flooding. Use a battery-powered radio. Listen to emergency broadcasts for updates, evacuation orders, and relief locations. Communication will likely fail. Cell towers may collapse. The internet might be gone. In a post-quake environment, information is survival. The nightmare isn't over. Aftershocks, smaller secondary quakes, can strike for hours, days, or even months after the main earthquake. And some can be nearly as powerful as the initial quake. Stay outside if safe. If you've evacuated, stay in an open area, away from damaged buildings and overpasses. Avoid re-entering structures. Even if a building looks intact, aftershocks could bring it down in seconds. Only return once authorities declare it safe. Stay alert. Aftershocks can disorient you, trigger landslides, or cause fires in already weakened areas. Be prepared to move at a moment's notice. The Earth is still restless, and you can't afford to let your guard down. In the days and weeks after an earthquake, survival shifts from immediate danger to endurance. Find clean water. Water lines may be damaged or contaminated. Use stored water, boil collected rainwater, or use purification tablets. Preserve food. Ration non-perishable supplies and avoid consuming anything that may have spoiled during power outages. Create shelter. If your home is destroyed, find safe, open areas to set up temporary shelters. Use tents, tarps, or debris to create makeshift protection from the elements. Avoid dangerous areas. Steer clear of collapsed buildings, downed power lines, and unstable cliffs or hillsides. Survival isn't just about luck. It's about adapting, staying calm, and making smart decisions every step of the way. Just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. Before an earthquake, don't ignore warnings. Seismic sensors and early warning systems can give precious seconds to prepare. Take them seriously. Don't place heavy objects. High up unsecured shelves or hanging lights become deadly projectiles during a quake. Don't assume it won't happen to you. Earthquakes can strike anywhere, even in areas with no history of seismic activity. During an earthquake, don't run outside. Most injuries happen from falling debris. It's safer to stay put and take cover. Don't stand in doorways. This old myth has caused countless injuries. Instead, shelter under sturdy furniture or next to an interior wall. Don't use elevators. Power failures or structural damage could trap you inside, or cause a catastrophic fall. After an earthquake, don't use open flames. Gas leaks are common. Lighting a match or candle could ignite a massive explosion. Don't drink tap water. Pipes may be broken or contaminated. Always purify water before consuming it. Don't ignore aftershocks. Even if the shaking seems mild, it can cause unstable structures to collapse. Stay vigilant. In survival, even small mistakes can be fatal. Knowledge is your best defense. Use it. Earthquakes are relentless and unforgiving, but humanity is resilient. Time and again we've risen from the rubble, rebuilding cities, supporting survivors, and learning from tragedy. And the more we understand about these disasters, the more lives we can save. So, prepare, educate yourself, and never underestimate the power of nature. Because when the ground trembles beneath your feet, what you know could be the key to staying alive. If you found this video helpful, make sure to check out our survival guides for tsunamis, hurricanes, tornadoes, and other deadly disasters. Because in a world full of unpredictable danger, knowledge is the only thing that can truly protect you. Stay safe, stay prepared, and we'll see you in the next video.